GoThunderWolves.com. We're here with head coach Matt Hammer. Coach, we're just going to talk about the UCCS game. You guys jump out early. You guys have a 15 to 10 point lead throughout the majority of that second half.
Yeah.
What are some things that you think you guys can work on just so you guys can close out games that way? You know, because they hit that three and then they hit that foul on the three. So I mean, what are things do you think that you guys can work on?
Yeah, well, I think big thing is handling pressure. Not letting the defense speed you up, and especially mentally, and just working to get open, holding the spot, showing a hand, just making the easy play. That's a big thing when you're trying to close a game out like that. Got to be a little more disciplined defensively. We're trying to switch everything and just keep the ball in front of us. Had lack of communication, gave up a couple layups, and then we fouled a 3-point shooter. Just some plays that you got to eliminate if you're really trying to win a game. So luckily we had a big enough lead, like you said, where some of these mistakes late in the game didn't cost us a game, but hopefully moving forward we learned our lesson.
Yeah. So Meek, he finished with 17 points, and then you had your big guys down low. They dominated. Yeah. Elijah finished 10 rebounds. I mean, Isaiah 10 rebounds. Elijah had 16 points, 7 rebounds. I mean,
yeah.
Can you just talk about your team in that game?
Yeah. Well, going into it, we really wanted to establish our paint game, and I think right from the start we were able to do that. The big thing I think that was really important in this game was Elijah staying out of foul trouble and being able to have him for the entirety of the game, especially against a team like UCCS that's long and athletic and physical, and they love crashing, and that's a big part of their game is trying to get second possessions. So having Elijah in there, Meek, I don't think Meek came out. I think he played a full 40 minutes. And being able to rely on a guy like that to have him for an entire game is big. Both staying out of foul trouble, but also his conditioning. It says a lot about him and how important this game is to him. So I thought offensively altogether it was probably the most just calm, and we did a great job just executing the game plan. Just trying to get the ball inside, play off of it. We didn't shoot it great from the outside, but we were able to find different ways to make plays. Michael Lambert, came up with some big baskets throughout the entirety of that game. Noble Robinson came in and gave us some big baskets, and luckily late in the game, you had the lead. We had some guys that stepped up and made some free throws. So it was a good, well-balanced win.
Yeah. So moving forward, talk about Fort Lewis and Western. Fort Lewis, they're 8-5, 4-3. So 3 of their 4 conference wins, they're all at home. Those 3 are at home. What are some of the things you think you guys got to do on offense and defense to take one over there?
Yeah, well, the big thing with those guys is trying to stop them. Stop their offense. They've got their big guy Ferris. He's I think he's a 7th year senior, I think. So he's been in this league for a while. He's a guy where if you let him get going, he could easily put up 30 plus on you. And so we got to really lock into making everything tough on him. But they've also got other veterans around that just know how to play the right way, and they're balanced. So you can't just completely be focused in on over here because you're going to get hurt on the backside, things like that. So. We got to slow them down. We got to make them, take tough contested shots and limit them to one shot each time down. And then for us offensively, it's kind of what we want to do against UCCS. Establish that paint game. Play inside out. Let our bigs create some good open looks for our guards on the perimeter by how hard and how physical they're playing.
Yeah. And so Western, they're kind of the same way. They have the Ragsdale kid who's averaging, I think, like 21, 22 points a game.
Yeah.
They're 2-7 in the conference, but they're kind of like a New Mexico Highlands team. They're kind of spotty, because one of their wins is against Metro, who's decent in the conference.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are some things you guys got to do against them?
Yeah, no, they're a very scary team, and that's the hardest part about this trip. These 2 guys being travel partners because they're pretty opposite. Fort Lewis has a ton of size, and they play through their bigs, and Western has a ton of perimeters that
Yep.
If you let them, they could go easily hit 16, 17, 18 threes if you're not locked into what you're doing. So at their place, again, we want to try to take advantage of our size and our athleticism and try to, get the ball to the basket. But defensively, Ragsdale, he had a 50-plus point game earlier in the year.
Yep.
I know last year against us, he dropped over 40 here at our place. He's a guy that can get going in a hurry too. So similar to Ferris, Ragsdale and Ferris, both those guys, the best way, in my opinion, to stop a score is to not let them catch a ball, not let them touch it.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to limit their touches as much as we can. We know that's not going to be, possible to not let them get a touch at all. But when they do get catches, they're really going to have to work for what they get, and hopefully we can, go on the road and have a good performance.
Yep. Well, good luck this weekend. Hopefully you guys can come out 2-0 this weekend on the road.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. GoThunderwolves.com. We're here with Noble Robinson. Just started off, what's this year been like for you? I know you sprained your ankle or something like that in the beginning of the year, but what's it like getting back out there and just the mindset in the locker room with you and the guys?
It's been up and down for me, being healthy and then having that ankle sprain. But I think having that ankle sprain made me mature and stay focused and locked into what we're doing, not being too concerned with myself and how I feel, but putting the team's needs above me, having to be vocal and supportive from the bench and on the sidelines of practice. So it's made me mature in that way. And in the locker room, I think that the main goal has been to enjoy it, be focused and locked in and do what we have to do, but at the same time have fun and enjoy it and just go out there and just play.
Yeah. So we're just going to talk about the last game. Coming off the bench in 13 minutes, you're 3 for 3 from the field and grabbed 4 rebounds and an assist. What's your mindset on the court now?
On the court is my mindset to do whatever I can and do what they need me to do to win. And whether it's scoring, playing defense, communicating, rebounding, just doing whatever it takes as a player to make our team successful. That's always been the mindset.
And so, last question, just what's the game plan for this weekend? You guys have Fort Lewis and Western, two pretty tough teams in the conference. What do you think's the key for you guys?
I think the key for us is to not get away from what we do. Just keep on playing confident. Trusting our teammates and communicating, whether it's on offense or defense, and just going all out in everything we do.
Cool. Well, good luck this weekend, Noble.